Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we're going to be looking at one of the other very special tanks that are on sale at the minute, and that is the T-34-88, which is essentially a T-34-85 with a captured German short 88 on it, same gun that's on the VK3601 and a couple of other German tanks. And do you know what, I don't normally say this, I normally try and give everybody the facts, the details about the tank, show you how it plays, and then let you make your mind up. Just buy it. It's awesome. It's a beast. You get top tier in this and you can just go to town and you can ruffle stomp everybody and outmaneuver them and everything else. And if you're not top tier, you just play a bit more cautiously, but you can still just punish people. It's a great tank. It really is. Hull armour not brilliant, but very well angled for anybody familiar with the T-34 or the T-34-85. And the turret, especially in your own tier, you can bounce a few shots off the front of it. It's 90mm and it's quite curved, but the gun is awesome. So let's have a quick look at it for those of you not familiar with the VK3601 and the other Germans. So like I say, it's the short 88, 9.5 rounds a minute, which is really good. It's actually faster than the VK3601. 132 penetration, which is slightly less than the standard T-34-85, which I think gets 144, and I think that also gets a rate of fire of 10, so half a round quicker. But this more than makes up for it with the damage, which is 220 average. You've got 171 mil penetration on your premium rounds, 44 on your high explosive, and they do 270 damage. I don't actually bother carrying any high X in this. I don't know why, I just don't feel like I need to. I normally carry it for resetting caps, but don't really feel like I need to in this one. Now, aiming time 2.3 seconds and accuracy 0.38, which isn't brilliant, but it's not bad. Turret armour, like I say, is 90, 75 and 52, and that's front, side and rear. Your hull armour is 45 front and side and 40 on the rear, but again, as we now know, that doesn't tell the whole story, so we'll have a look at the actual armour viewer shortly. Excuse me. Right, reload time 6.3 seconds. Like I said yesterday, it's very nice to actually have that on there now. Maximum speed 54 kilometers an hour with that 600 horsepower engine, and not too bad camouflage when stationary when moving. Not brilliant, but not too bad. View range a little on the low side, but it is Russian after all, even though it's got a German gun. 360 meters. Signal range pretty poor at 525. However, one of the main things about this tank is it will train your Russian or your German crews. You can put either one in it, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't got a crew trainer, get this one. It is really good. Because, like I say, you can train up your German and your Russian crews. It gets a 50% XP bonus and a 20% crew XP bonus on top of that. So it really does rack it up. In fact, I think the only thing better for crew training is the Churchill 3. Anyway, modules. Right, engine towards the back and quite a long strip along the side, which I'm assuming is possibly where the exhausts are, but I'm not sure actually. I think they're in the back of it on the actual model. But anyway, there's your engine. Big target to hit, so obviously if you're shooting one of these things, you want to set it on fire, that's where you got to shoot. If you're driving one of these things, you've just got to be careful because your engine can get damaged fairly easily. However, your side armour is quite angled, so if you are well, quite well sloped, sorry, so if you are angling or moving back and forth, you can get quite a few lucky bounces off this. I actually bounced another T-34-88 off the front in one of the matches. Power to weight ratio is 17.91, which is pretty good actually. I don't know if I've got another tier 6 to have a look at. Oh, I have. Yep, hang on. When I can find it, I really should have put the thingy on here. The filters. Where are we? Here we are. The Easy 8, which is quite a mobile medium tank. 17.4, so slightly better than that, but at least you sort of know what you're looking for. I think the Knight really does outdo it, and the Cromwell, yeah, 23. It's not as fast as the Knight, but you're looking about Easy 8 sort of speeds, so at least you know what you're sort of looking at now for it. Like I say, it's not sluggish, it's nippy, it's manoeuvrable, and I do really like it. So, gun on the front, which is where you expect it. Tracks, track rotation is 38 degrees a second for your turret, hull traverse, get my words out. Turret traverse 46 degrees a second, which is pretty damn good. The hull traverse is not brilliant, but at least having it that way your turret can keep up with your hull. There is nothing worse than a turret that can't keep up with your hull, like on the Type 64. Radio just in the left hand side of the turret. Ammunition rack is at the rear of the turret, just in front of the little box that's on the back, and you've also got it just on the right hand side of its turret there. Just towards the back again. So basically you hit it in the back of the turret if you want to damage the ammo rack. Crew, as you can see, 2 in the front, 2 at the top of the turret, and the commander just behind, or what I'm assuming is the commander. So let's have a look at the armour. Again, you know, don't expect miracles because it is a tier 6 medium tank. So you've got your tracks, 1 to 20mm. I do, like I say, wish that we had a more accurate values for the armour on this, because just giving you a range, it doesn't really give you the full idea. Lower plate, very weak, but very, very small, very low down, and very well angled. I don't think anybody's going to get through your lower plate because they'll just not hit it. Then we move on to the sides, which are 45 along with the front, and if you notice, I mean, again, giving you that armour range between the 31 and 50, it doesn't really show you if that machine gun cupola on the front or the driver's hatch is actually a weak spot or not, so that's something I'm not entirely sure about. And it does seem that you have an extra layer of armour over the front of your turret there, because if we move on, and I can't even find that bit of armour. Now where's that? Is it the back of the turret there? Yeah, just at the back of the turret. So you've got 51 to 70mm on the back of the turret, which I think it's something like 52, it says the actual number. 71 to 90. Now you've actually got a nice thick strip of armour on the very front point of your tank there, so if anybody does try to go for your lower plate and miss, they're going to hit that, and they may have difficulty actually penning that. Also around the gun as well, just behind that smaller armour on the front is the gun mantlet proper, I would have said, and you've got the sides of the upper turret there, which are quite thick as well. I think they, well, again, I can't tell you, I don't know if it's 71, if it's 90, if it's 80. It's very vague, the armour viewer. It's nice to have it, but a little bit more detail would be nice for more gaming. And then we move on to the 91 to 120, which is a couple of little rings on the gun, which are, to be honest, neither here nor there. I think if anybody's going to hit those, it's going to be out of bad luck or good luck, depending on which way you view it, and who's doing the receiving and who's doing the giving, as with so many things in life. Anyway, I think that's pretty much covered that. Equipment wise, I've gone for a gun lane drive to improve that aiming time, I've gone for a gun rammer to get your reload up even better, and I've gone for vents just to improve everything, which does your handling, obviously it does your reload, it does your aiming time, just basically everything on the tank. And yeah, I can't really think if we missed anything. I've shown you where the modules are, I've shown you the armour viewer, we've talked a little bit about the tank and sort of compared it towards the T-34-88. And yeah, I think this is going to be one of the very, very, very few tanks that I would recommend. It is a brilliant tank, it is so much fun, and it is a fantastic crew trainer. And at the minute it's only bundled up with the Centennial Chieftain T95, but over the next couple of weeks it will be coming on its own in various different packages as a timed release. So if you're wanting to pick it up and you're not wanting to spend much money, I think the cheapest one is around 4,000 gold. I'd go for that one if you want to try and save your money on it. But yeah, it is well worth it. And if not, then shout at me in the comments. But no, I do think it's a fantastic tank. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. Let's get into a bit of gameplay and see how it actually handles, and then you can make your mind up yourself. Right, so here we are for the first one. It's on Severogorsk, Tier 6 match, standard battle, and this is the very first game that I played in this tank. And something I did forget to mention in the garage, actually, just while we're locating the enemy. The gun depression is quite Russian on this at only -7, but the gun elevation is actually quite good at +22, so that's not too bad if enemies get above you. So I think I mentioned as well, you've got that really thick strip just on the very front sort of point where the upper and lower plates meet as well. Now again, like I say, there's a lot of stuff that'll penetrate that anyway, but it is quite useful to have, and I do like the angling on the front of the T-34 hull, and obviously the T-34-85, 88 hull, they're all the same. Now all three matches that I'm going to show you, because there are three, are all where I'm top tier, and it's not just because they're the only ones that I did well in. It's, I mean, this sees up to tier 8. I have been in a tier 8 match in it today, but it was like I had a big neon sign above me saying please kill me Artie, and as soon as I got spotted, boom, Artie. I think I'd done 2 penetrating hits and Artie just one-shotted me, which was very unpleasant. And I don't know why, I've just not got into any games where I've been bottom tier or even mid tier. Apart from that, apologies, that was my phone again, I forgot to put it on silent. But yeah, I've just not been in a game where I've been mid or bottom tier today for some reason, and I think what it is, on the PS4 seemingly there's not been many people playing tier 8s through the day, and therefore the tier 7s are generally taken up into the tier 9s because there's been quite a few people playing tier 9 and 10. Oh, Marder 38T, put one into him, nearly kill him and just ram him to finish him off. And like I say, this is the first game that I played in this, and it's just such a fun tank to play, and it really is. Easy 8 there, slam one into him. Try and get around him before he can fire again, and just popped one straight into him there. Put one into the T-150, fires and bounces because of the angle and I'm moving backwards. Aim at that flatter upper plate. Yeah, anyway. Got carried away there with the commentary. Yeah, I've just been top tier. Most of the tier 7s end up in tier 9 matches, which I found myself when I've been playing tier 7s today, and hardly anybody's playing tier 8s. In fact, a lot of the time I was in tier 9, well, tier 10 matches where there are only a couple of tier 8s aside. So when I've been playing this today, it just kept putting me in tier 6 matches. But hopefully over the next few days or over the weekend I'll be able to get into some games where I am bottom tier, and I might even put it in a random violence or do a little extension to this review and show you what it can do when you're mid or bottom tier instead of just top tier. But anyway, back to this game. I'm on low health now. I've been, to be honest, I've not been very tactical. I've just sort of been YOLOing it and having a bit of fun in it. I tend to do that when I first get a tank, just to see what it can and can't get away with, really. I don't do it all the time. There's some tanks you really know what you can get away with. You know, you look at them or you've seen them in battle, you come up against them. There's other tanks that you're not quite sure, but yeah, that's why I've gone a bit YOLO-ish. And it is just to see what I can get away with in this and just have a bit of fun, really, for the first match in it. So it looks like we've pretty much taken the northern end and the western side, and now there's 3 heavies left and 2 tank destroyers, and they've all got to be down on this southeastern corner. And I'm just checking out the gun depression there, that's why I kept going through that one, to see what I'm working with coming up over these ridges. Like I say, this was the first game I played in this, but it does really show off what you can. I mean, these matches, they do show what you can do when you are a top tier in this tank. It is quite an effective little machine. There's a KV-85 over there. Nope, he's gone. So we've got 2 heavies, 2 tank destroyers, and I'm a one-hit kill for any of them. So where are they? Oh, there's the ARL. Put one into his side. Slightly low roll. Get into cover, and it looked like Artie finished him off. Right, I know where the heavy is. He's up in that very top northeastern corner. So we've just got 2 tank destroyers down here. Where are they? Oh, oh dear. Ambushed by an S-35. Well, I guess I found the tank destroyers. So that was that one over, and we'll skip to the end there. And there you go, very first match I played. Not a bad daily double, 1600 damage. and a third class mastery. 160 blocked, but then again, I didn't really take many hits. In fact, I think the only one that I blocked was that shot from the T-150, and came second, which isn't bad. I would have liked to have survived a bit longer and maybe taken out that tank destroyer, but that's the way things happen. But you'll see the amount of bonus XP that you get with this thing. It is really, really good, and I have found it to be a very, very effective crew trainer, and the fact that you can put German and Russian crews in it is absolutely fantastic. Right, so again, like I say, tier 6 match, this time on mines, and it's an encounter battle. And another thing that I feel about this tank when you're top tier, it feels kind of effortless, if you see what I mean. There's some tanks that are good tanks and they're rewarding, but you've got to work in them. You know, you have to work hard, but when you do, they're very rewarding and they're very good tanks, but they're not easy to use. Whereas I find this just quite an easy tank to use, and I find it's quite effortless in this, and I think it's because it's got a quite a decent all-round package, especially again like when you're top tier. It's got the mobility, it's got fairly decent armour with the, well, I mean, I know it's not a brilliant thickness, but with the angling, and if you can angle it right and keep it moving, it's got a fantastic gun. And the turret can be quite bouncy as well. You're not going to be bouncing many tier 8s off it, but you know, tier 6s, tier 5s, and from my experience, you are more often than not top tier. Oh, I took a hit there from something, and something else, so no, I'm going to back up. I thought it was that KV, but no, there's other things over there, and now two of the arties are having a go. Oh, and there's the third. So we've got a KV1, and just take a poorly aimed shot and track him, I think, or damage his tracks. Aim it better, and that finishes him off. Oh, there's one of the RT. Oh, I think I just took a hit from the the enemy T-34-88 there. See if I can return the favour to him. Yes, I can, and he bounces his next shot, and that's what I mean. You angle it properly, use cover, and keep moving. Yeah, it is a good little tank. I am very impressed with it, I must admit. I've not actually used the normal T-34-85. I went through the MT-25. Oh, that was a low roll on that RT. And there's another RT running for his life. Let's see if I can finish him off. And I probably can, because the rate of fire is good on this. Yep, one shot at him. And now we've got a flat panzer. Straight through the front and damages Amarak. But yeah, it just all comes together to make a really nice little package. And having that extra alpha damage over the regular, I mean, like I said, I've not played the T-34-85, but played the T-34, and obviously I've played tanks that are very similar. And having that extra alpha damage really helps out at the loss of only half a round a minute, which is a small price to pay in my opinion. And I'm having no problem getting through that flat panzer there, and I finish him off with the third shot, and that's up to 5 kills. Can I make it a top gun? That'd be nice. There's the enemy T-34-88 just been dealt with there, so all we've got left now is whatever that heavy is in the base. So I'm going to have to get a move on if I want to pull the top gun out of this. Oh, and if you saw me messing with the radial wheel, it's because I remembered that they'd changed some of the commands on it and removed some of them, so I was just checking to see what I could see what was there and what differences I could see. Right, it's a T1 heavy, and he's behind the buildings, and everybody's rushing him, which is usual at the end of the battle when there's quite a few of you left like this. Oh, and he's taking damage. Can I get there in time? Come on. No, there's something very rapid fire, and I missed my opportunity, so I'll have to settle with 5 kills out of that match, but still, that's not bad. Again, nice little bit of XP, 1700 damage. That 220 block was that one shot from the enemy T-34-88, but a sniper medal, high caliber, and a second class mastery, which is quite nice. And I got 5,000 bonus credits for that. I don't think this gets a silver bonus in any way, but again, you can just see the amount of XP that you get, the premium vehicle bonus there. It is really high, and that's a good thing about this. I think the only thing better for crew training than this is the KV3 at 78%, and I think this is, well, I think it's 50% XP, sort of vehicle XP, which obviously the crew take a portion of anyway, but you also get an extra 20% crew XP on top of that. So if I'm right, and I might be wrong on this, I don't know if anybody can let me know, but it should work out around 70%. They've just split it down differently. I think it just used to get 70% and that was it. So we're back on Severagorsk for the last one, and again it's a tier 6 matchup, and like I say, 9 out of the 10 games I've played in this today have been tier 6. And I think the one that I wasn't, I was the only tier 6 in the match. The rest were, I think, about 4 7s, and the rest were tier 8s, and yeah, Artie just nailed me just after I'd been spotted. Right, so standard battle, I'm going to head across to the northeastern corner. There's a patch of trees and bushes, and if you just angle yourself right, you have to be careful in some tanks. I think it's T69, you have to position yourself a bit differently because of the lack of gun elevation on that one, but yeah, here we are. Just over here, and they're on a slope, and if you sort of go up the slope a bit, it hides you from the tree, it hides you through the trees and the bushes, and as long as you've got somebody forwards, you can put shots in and not get spotted for a while. So there's the enemy T-34-88, managed to get one into him. Next one, don't know where that one goes. And there's a T-34-85, managed to plant a nice hit on him, slightly low rolling though, 220 is the average on this. Oh, we've got a 3601, and I take a auto-aimed shot at him, and yeah, I shouldn't have done. Ooh, that was close. I bet he don't know whether to shit or go blind, and he pulls back, and I'm not surprised. Managed to put a nice one into the side of the KV-85. Yeah, this, I mean, you can see tier 4s in this and tier 5s in it. I mean, it has the potential to one-shot quite a few of the tier 4s, I think, or some of the tier 4s, should I say, not quite a few. KV, so I've not been spotted yet, so I'm managing to put shots into all of these guys, and I've not been spotted once. And at this point, I've got a German crew in that I'm training up for my VK45028, and I think they've got repairs and track repairs and clutch braking. So no camouflage skills or anything like that, but that is a really nice little spot. Although now my help on this corner is dwindling and I'm in trouble. I need to get, yeah, if I can finish off that KV-85, there we go. Oh, no, he's got a mate now. I thought I could finish him off and then finish off the T-34. I think it's the 88 up there, is it again? Well, whatever it was, it's dead now, and that was what I wanted to do, but he'd been joined by a KV, so if I can hopefully get down into this gully and get myself in a bit of cover. I took a bounce off the side. No, there's the T-34-88, I think that was the 85. Right, well, he's over there, so now I can try and deal with this KV-1. And I'm going to use this slope, and I'm going to use the 7 degrees of gun depression, because it's enough for this bit, and I'm going to use that turret front. But unfortunately, that can sometimes happen when you're very low health defending a flank on your own. Anyway, we'll skip to the end again on that one. So that one was a defeat, unfortunately, but I managed 2,000 damage in that and another high caliber and a 3rd class mastery. So there you go, there's the T-34-88. I honestly would wholeheartedly recommend this tank. It is a brilliantly fun tank. It's got a fantastic gun on it. It's quite mobile and nippy as well. and the turret can be quite bouncy when you're top tier, and when you're not, you've still got the penetration and damage to deal with some of those higher tiers. Anyway, I hope this has been of help to you, and I hope you found it useful, and I hope you've been able to make a decision on whether you actually want to fork out for the T-34-88. It is coming on its own in the next couple of weeks, so you might be best off keeping an eye out for that one if you want to save a bit of gold. Anyway, as always, take care out there, and I will catch you next time. See you later.